Welcome back to Petco Park here in San Diego. Overcast all day. In fact, it has looked like rain is coming all day, but it hasn't. So hopefully it'll stay dry the rest of the night, but a cool afternoon and evening here in Southern California as we get set for the opener of this 4-game series. Army Staff Sergeant Scott Thorne from the Stryker unit serving in Iraq threw out the first pitch before tonight's game here at Petco. And we'd like to thank big Cubs fan Linda Arnold, who let us know that Scott would be showing off his throwing arm tonight. And to Scott and all of our men and women serving our great country, we salute you. Great to have him here at the ballpark tonight.
And we excuse that wild pitch. He hasn't been able to work on his mechanics very much while serving our country. So great effort.
Well, the Padres with the best home record in baseball, 18-5. Last year, in the first year of this ballpark, the Padres went just 42-39 here at home, but they have really gotten comfortable. And as you mentioned last night, they snapped a club record 11-game home winning streak as Milwaukee beat them.
And apparently the last out of the ball game was a deep fly ball to right field. They were trailing in the ball game. It appeared to be headed out of the ballpark off the bat of Jeff Blum, but Brewers made the play and won the ball game. So they were in it right up until the very last out of the ball game, which is something they've done a lot of in the early going this year.
So the Padres taking the field behind right-hander Tim Stauffer. And let's take a look at Dusty Baker's lineup, brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and the Chicago Cubs. Everybody wondering, I'm sure, is Aramis in the lineup tonight? He is, and he will bat fifth, and he's working on a 6-game hitting streak. He sat out last night with a sore right ankle, but well enough to get back in there tonight. Also, Jason DuBois back in the starting lineup. Todd Hollandsworth got the start in Los Angeles.
Take a look at the Padres defensively. Ryan Klesko in left, Dave Robertson center, Miguel Ojeda, catcher, playing right field, Jeff Blum at third base, Khalil Green, their outstanding young shortstop, Damian Jackson at second base, Phil Nevin over at first base, Ramon Hernandez behind the plate for the big right-hander
Tim Stauffer. This is his birthday, in fact. 23 years old today, and this is his 5th major league start. The Padres have a couple of injuries in their starting rotation. Woody Williams has a strained oblique. He may be back soon. Tim Redding has a strained shoulder. So Stauffer in their rotation, and so is left-hander Darrell May, who was slated to pitch in Game 3 Saturday night. And it's Nafe's birthday as well, turning 32.
We've had quite a run of birthdays lately. Seems like every day somebody's celebrating.
Crew chief is Gary Darling, and he's back to the plate. Larry Poncino at first, Mark Wegner, Paul Nauert rounded out. Well, on paper, this should be a very competitive series. Cubs have won 6 in a row. Padres have won 6 of 7.
We talked about it earlier before going on the air. You hate to look too far ahead in this series, but the Sunday game with Jake Peavy against Carlos Zambrano should figure to be a real beauty.
The Cubs have won 5 in a row on the road. So they're at 500 at 12-12 away from Wrigley Field. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's 1-1. 66 degrees at game time tonight. Comes Stauffer, and that one missed a little bit low to make it 2-1. Carlos Zambrano, his last time out, had no hit stuff, gave up just a bloop double to Cesar Torres. 3-1. Mayfield with 4 hits last night, 3-run homer. He doubled. He scored 3 times. Well to right field, Ojeda is there to make the catch, so Nafy lines out to start it. This is a big ballpark. The alleys, I mean, when you're talking 400 plus feet, out in left center 402, and it goes all the way out to 411 in right center.
And heavy air here on the harbor, on the water here in San Diego. The ball just doesn't carry well at all. You have to hit it right down either line to get a home run. There is that one area directly down the right field line that kind of juts out. They call it the porch. You can get a cheap home run down into that right field corner, but not a lot of cheapies in this ballpark. And caused a lot of complaining from Ryan Klesko and Phil Nevin and some of the other hitters for the Padres last year. And Kevin Towers and Bruce Bochy told them in no uncertain terms to just shut up and play ball. This is where we're going to play our games. We're not changing the ballpark for you.
And you know what? They've done that. They scored, the Padres did at home 4.06 runs per game at home. This year 4.6, but the team ERA is the big one. 2.54 here at Petco. Last year their ERA at home was 3.85. There's the National League Pitcher of the Month for May, Trevor Hoffman. 2-2 on Todd Walker. Derek Lee went 5 for 5 last night at Los Angeles, is on deck. Now hitting 380. On the hands, and Walker stays alive.
Because of the dimensions here at this ballpark and the immense amount of outfield grass to cover, Dave Roberts was a guy that the Padres really coveted in the offseason, a tremendous defensive center fielder, and he's going to have his work cut out tonight. Ryan Klesko has been described as a truck driver in left field, and as I mentioned earlier, Miguel Ojeda in right field is usually a backup catcher. We want to get another right-handed bat in the lineup against Glendon Rusch tonight, so Ojeda getting a start in right field.
3-2 pitch hit high in the air. That is fairly deep. And Ojeda makes a catch. So he's been involved in the first 2 outs tonight. Well, you want some numbers on Derek Lee? Here you go.
God.
Leading the National League in everything.
That's just ridiculous.
He's also tied for the league lead in runs with 41. And he made his major league debut with the San Diego Padres. Lee now with his 3rd major league team, Padres, Marlins, and the Cubs. Got 5 home runs at this point last year. About half as many RBIs.
Be interesting to see how the Padres pitching staff goes after, or whether they'll go after Derek Lee in this series. It amazes us every series we play that teams continue to pitch to him, especially with runners on base. Doesn't appear like Stauffer wants much to do with him in this at bat. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. Everything else is trying to lead him out of the strike zone.
Full count on Lee.
Stauffer will throw a fastball. He has a curveball. Doesn't really throw a legitimate slider. He'll cut his fastball from time to time to give it the appearance of a slider, and a pretty good straight changeup.
Ready for a 3-2 pitch to Lee. Pretty close, and Derek getting the benefit of the doubt. Tell you what, that's the other part of a streak like this. You just never know. You get maybe a little more respect from an umpire, and Derek has always had a very good eye at the plate.
Well, the guy's hitting the way Derek Lee is. You figure if it's a strike, he would have swung at it.
Exactly right. So he's at first with 2 outs, and it'll bring up San Diego resident Jeremy Burnett. Here's the pitch. Fastball for a strike. Jeremy with 2 career home runs here at Petco. Both hit last year in the first year of this ballpark as a Colorado Rocky. Tim Stauffer has really struggled against the opposing cleanup hitter. Flared into center, and it'll get down for Burnett. So number 4 hitters hitting well over 700 against Stauffer. A strange stat, but it works for Burnett. 2 men on with 2 out.
Bernie gets jammed a little bit. He's had a few of these drop in for him lately, which you need to do if you want to keep that batting average up there. Just got jammed, and Roberts playing very deep in center field, respecting Bernie's power and not able to come in and make a play.
Top 3 hitters in the lineup against Tim Stauffer, hitting 125. Cleanup men 9 for 12. Go figure. Here's Ramirez. Of course, the Cubs hoping that the off night last night doesn't cool him off. He's 12 for his last 21, and back to back 3-hit games. 1-1. Ramos has battled some nagging injuries this year. The groin problem, some off and on back spasms, and the ankle that he twisted 2 nights ago. One ball, 2 strikes. Lee with the 2-out walk and the bloop hit by Burnett, putting 2 men on base. Here's the pitch, way outside. Corey Patterson on deck. Corey has hit in 7 straight. Well, the Cubs swept the Padres here last year, so they're 3-0 here at Petco Park, and they've also won 7 straight here in San Diego, going back to the Qualcomm Stadium days. Now they're 2-2 and another foul. And Stauffer has thrown a lot of pitches, 27 here in the first inning. That's the other thing the Cubs hitters have done during this winning streak. They have made that opposing starter throw a lot of pitches. Derek Lowe did not get through 6 innings last night.
Especially important against a team like the Padres. If you give them a lead into the 6th inning of a ball game, their bullpen sets up very well to close out a ball game. Usually going to Otsuka first in the 7th inning, then line break in the 8th, and then of course Trevor Hoffman in the 9th. So run up a pitch count on that starter early, try to get him out of the ball game, get into that middle relief.
Yet another 2-2, and it's full. And yeah, we hope the only AC/DC we hear is on the iPod this weekend.
Now, when you hear hell's bells in this ballpark, it usually means you're going to be leaving within the next 15 or 20 minutes, and your post-game meal is not going to taste very good, because that's when Trevor Hoffman comes into the ball game.
Runners will get a head start. 3-2 pitch, hit deep to left. That ball carrying, and it will be caught. Ramirez just got under it. Inning over. Padres coming up.
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball. Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly home run contest. After every Cubs homer, write down the distance along with your name and address and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs.
How do the professionals fight bugs? They put down a barrier that stops them dead. Now you can too. Introducing Ortho Home Defense Max. With one easy application inside and out, Ortho's exclusive InvisiShield technology forms a barrier, killing the bugs you have, stopping new ones from coming in. All season long, guaranteed. New Ortho Home Defense Max. Kill bugs like a pro.
Keep on the sunny side.
At Days Inns, it's not just about the change we put in your pocket. It's about the change we make in your journey.
Why don't you keep on the sunny side of life?
For my sport, the only sunscreen is Copper Tone Sport.
It's non-greasy, so I won't lose my grip.
And it doesn't run in my eyes, no matter how hard I sweat.
Coppertone Sport, high-performance sunscreens.
Let's check out the San Diego Padres starting lineup. Dave Roberts was on the DL the last time the Cubs saw the Padres. He's hitting .292. Jeff Blum has been terrific. Klesko, Nevin, Hernandez, Ojeda. We mentioned Ojeda out in right tonight. Khalil Green, the shortstop. Former Cub Damian Jackson at second for the injured Mark Loretta. And Tim Stauffer 2 for 7 to start his big league career.
Here's how the Cubs take the field defensively. Brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of MLB and the Cubs. Du Bois, Patterson, Burnitz once again in the outfield. Ramirez, Perez, Walker, Lee across the infield. Michael Barrett catching for left-hander Glendon Rusch. And barring injury or the occasional platoon situation when Jerry Hairston gets to start at second base, this has been pretty much the everyday lineup for Dusty Baker.
And he works to the left-handed swinging Dave Roberts, ball one. Roberts missed the first 12 games of the season on the disabled list with a strained right groin, and again did not play in that series at Wrigley Field, in which the Padres took 2 of 3. That's a strike. 1-1.
Keep an eye on the back foot of Dave Roberts as he squares around to bunt. Occasionally he'll get that foot out of the batter's box and behind home plate as he tries to take that ball with him down the first baseline. And obviously if you step out of that batter's box and are not making contact with any part of it, you're out if you make contact with the ball.
Well, he recently had a birthday, turned 33 on Tuesday. A lot of birthdays this week. Carlos Zambrano, Derek Lowe, Mayfi Perez, Tim Stauffer, and Dave Roberts. Well, the Cubs would like to face Dave Roberts in this series with nobody on base. He's hitting .500 with men in scoring position. Pretty good for a leadoff guy. Rolled towards second. Walker from one knee will throw him out. Nice play by Todd.
Walker goes far to his left, flags that ball down, maintains his balance, throws from a knee onto Derek Lee at first base. Well, that's just a nice athletic play right there.
One strike on Jeff Blum, switch hitter, with 6 straight multi-hit games, hitting .464 over those 6 games, and playing a lot lately. When Mark Loretta went down with an injured left thumb, Blum started playing second base. Well, then Sean Burroughs had to miss some time, and he hasn't played in a week with left leg injuries, quad and hamstring problems. So Blum now at third base, and Bruce Bochy's not going to take him out of the lineup anytime soon. Loretta recently had surgery on his left thumb. He tore a ligament on a headfirst slide into first. I was talking with Mark today, and he's not expected back until late July.
Well, Loretta was a very valuable member of this ball club. He was one of those guys that would do all the so-called little things.
Lined into center, Corey Patterson leaps and makes a catch for good measure. Well, last night John Carranca made his major league debut, and the lefty got the win. Well, another lefty tonight. The last time the Cubs received back-to-back wins by left-handed starters, June of '87, Steve Trout and Jamie Moyer. How about that?
Wow. Was Jamie Moyer still pitching?
Strike on Klesko. The Cubs hadn't even used back-to-back left-handed starters prior to the last 2 nights since 2000. Scott Downs and Andrew Lorraine. Base hit for Klesko. The Cubs had a shift on, and Ramirez was pulled way over the shortstop side of his third base position, but Klesko still able to find a hole.
Yeah, Klesko does not hit the ball to the left side of the infield on the ground very often. This is a pitch down and away from him, and he just does ground it to the left side. You wonder how much that ankle is bothering Ramirez. That's a ball that he would normally at least get over there and knock down, but that first step not quite what it should be right now with that ailing ankle.
Ball one on Phil Nevin, who's 4 for 12 in his career against Glendon Rusch. Glendon 0-1 with a 4.33 ERA in 7 appearances and 6 starts against the Padres. Thanks to Ed Hardig, who knows Cubs history as well as anyone, for that great note on the left-handed starters. 1987, the last time back-to-back left-handed starters won games. And at this point, John Karanka will make another start, but Dusty Baker said, look, it's too far down the road to think about his next start, but it would be Monday against the Blue Jays. So at this point, he'll stay in the rotation. Burnett's going back. That ball is deep. He will leap and make the catch. Jeremy Burnett's robbing Phil Nevin of extra bases. Nevin just slammed his helmet to the dirt. Inning over. How about this catch?
Someone leave their lunch at the last rest stop? There's a sandwich and we got a Pepsi. Still cold. Name on the bag says Spartacus. Is there a Spartacus here to claim this?
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
The new, more dynamic BMW 3 Series.
In Italian cooking, everything must be filled with happiness.
Forget your troubles and just get happy. You better chase all your cares away.
Even the cannelloni. So Olive Garden introduces 2 new cannellonis filled with happiness. New seafood cannelloni stuffed with shrimp and creamy ricotta cheese. Or roasted chicken and mushroom cannelloni topped with our homemade Alfredo. Plus endless salad and breadsticks, starting at just $9.95.
The sun is shining, come on, get happy.
Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
It's the hot thing in activewear. Bengay's Ultra Strength Pain Relieving Patch. Now even stronger for deep heating relief. And it lasts up to 8 hours. Try the Ultra Strength Bengay Pain Relieving Patch. It's what's hot in pain relief.
This is America's home for super comedy. Superstation WGN.
Well, Jeremy Burnett's 1 for 1 at the plate and made a nice leaping catch out and right to rob Phil Nevin.
This is the kind of ball that Nevin and Klesko and others on this Padres team complained about last year. Phil Nevin with tremendous opposite field power. Thought he had enough of that one to get it out of here, but Bernie goes up against the out-of-town scoreboard to make a nice catch.
And Phil Nevin was not very happy with the result. Slammed his helmet down and threw some seeds to his infield partners in between innings.
Nevin 1, helmet 0 at this point.
On some grounders at about 96 miles an hour. Corey Patterson lifts one to right, and it's Ojeda out there again. And Miguel Ojeda with his first career start in right field tonight, filling in for Brian Giles against the left-handed starter. 3 starts and left for Ojeda, but he is a catcher by trade.
Those catchers are so versatile. You can put them anywhere on the field, proving once again that they are superior athletes.
Now Jason Du Bois, 0 for 1 last night, did not get the start at left. It was Todd Hollinsworth who had a couple of hits and an RBI. Jason's first look at Petco Park. 1-1.
It just stands to reason, too, that you put a catcher in right field and 3 of the first 4 balls are hit to it. 3 of the first 4 outs. Fly balls to the guy playing out of position.
That's in there to make it 1-2. The wind and the pitch. He struck him out swinging. It's the first strikeout rather for Stauffer. Watch live Cubs games right on your computer. Sign up for MLB.tv now exclusively at Cubs.com. MLB.tv means live baseball. Here comes Michael Barrett, 30 hits over his last 27 games. Called a nice game last night.
Yes, he really did. Michael Barrett has really gotten comfortable behind the plate and at the plate. He's just playing with a lot of confidence right now. You just see it in his body language during batting practice, the way he handles his pitchers out there on the mound during the course of a ball game. Makes such a big difference to a player when you feel like you're contributing with the bat. You can take a little more charge defensively as a catcher if you feel like you're going to make your contributions on the offensive end as well.
Hit well to left field. Klesko on the move, and he will get there to end the inning. 1-2-3 go the Cubs. No score.
You won't find it in the files, believe me.
So you fired a pistol at him?
I'm afraid Mr. Mallory's dead.
I gotta have the name, Carolyn. I'm looking for someone who committed a murder.
All I'm asking is that you let me look through the files of Jason Carter. I might stumble onto something that you missed.
He was there with these 2 men.
Just one more thing.
You do your job. Don't worry about how I'm gonna handle mine, okay?
They say your footprint is as unique as your fingerprint.
It's like me, unique.
That's why Dr. Scholl's created memory fit insoles with memory foam to form to the shape of your foot.
It forms right around your feet.
For customized comfort, see the doctor, Dr. Scholl's.
Hey. Hey, Tim. So, how was Father's Day? Pam get you anything?
Yeah, actually, she got me this camera phone. It was 2 for 1, so she got one too. What'd you get?
Don't be a jerk. What are you looking at?
This year, it's good to be dad. Buy one Samsung A670 camera phone from Verizon Wireless for $49.99 and get a second one free. Then start calling on the nation's most reliable wireless network.
Johnson said you wanted to see me?
Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
So, here's the one you saw on Cars.com. It's silver with alloy wheels and a bed liner.
Give me 5, man. Up high. Can you bird it? Can you do the bird? Can you do the bird?
Find the right car for you. Cars.com.
Players still filing in here at Petco Park for game 1 of this series. The Padres bat in the second against left-hander Glendon Rusch. One of the fun things about coming here, the Padres have had so many different uniforms and uniform colors. A good look at all the retro unis. 1 ball, no strikes on Ramon Hernandez, hitting .299.
Ooh, sometimes the past should stay in the past.
Harry the Heckler here at Petco. Went to old Jack Murphy Stadium. Became Qualcomm Stadium for a long time. He keeps it clean, but he lets the outfielders know that he's there.
Oh. I mean, at old Qualcomm, you could hear him all over the ballpark in a closed structure, and his voice just boomed through that ballpark.
Todd Walker diving stop, and he'll get Hernandez. A couple of nice defensive plays from Todd here early on tonight. How about the defense from the Cubs here in the first 2 innings?
A nice play going to his left, 3 steps and a dive for Todd Walker. He's showing no ill effects of that knee injury. We saw him leg out a triple last week at home. He's made a couple of nice diving plays to his left here. We've seen him make plays up the middle. If it's bothering him, it sure doesn't show.
First pitch strike on Ojeda. Again, Ojeda in the lineup. Brian Giles is not in the lineup tonight. Giles got off to a very slow start at a big month of May, coinciding with the big month the Padres had. Fouled off. This is amazing. Giles at home this year hitting .190. And in 79 at bats here at Petco Park has grounded into 8 double plays. On the road, he's hitting .355. Another foul.
Giles is one of those guys as a manager. You don't usually worry about his numbers. You look up at the end of the season, he's going to be right where he should be. You see his career numbers in 70 games against the Cubs.
Glendon's next pitch, curveball, and Ojeda waited and tapped it foul.
Giles had a run in Pittsburgh from 1999 till 2002 where his numbers were eerily similar every year. 39 homers, 35, 37, 38, 33 doubles, 37, 37, 37. RBIs were very nearly the same every year. Hit .315, .315, .309, .298. That's about as consistent as you could possibly get. Rusch just off the outside corner with that tailing fastball. Just off the corner.
Khalil Green, the shortstop. Straightaway center, no problem for Patterson. The 1-2-3 second for Glendon Rusch. 0-0.
Well, I had a dream. I stood beneath an orange sky.
The multifunctional element.
Yes, I had a dream.
From Honda.
Stood beneath an orange sky.
Where will it take you?
There are 2 ways to kill weeds. Ortho season-long grass and weed killer, or the leading brand. Both kill existing weeds, but only season-long forms a protective barrier to prevent new weeds, all season guaranteed. So you won't have to spray month after month after month. The choice is yours. Kill weeds for the season, or spend the season killing weeds. Ortho season-long grass and weed killer. All weeds, all gone, all season.
Hey, I came as soon as I heard about Muffin.
He was the sweetest cat ever.
I know. It's all right.
He's just so cute.
Mocha.
No, baby, Muffin.
Muffin. Yeah, Muffin. The cat.
The tempting DQ Latte in mocha, cappuccino, French vanilla, and new caramel. Do one.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
How do you stop the unstoppable?
You're gonna kill all of us.
On the next Andromeda.
Sunday at 12 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
WGN Sports coverage of Cubs baseball is brought to you by Budweiser Select. Brewed for a crisp taste that finishes clean. Be selective. You got to have fun out there in the sand. They have a a park actually behind those bleachers called the Park at the Park. It's a fun baseball experience here at Petco.
Yeah, initially when Petco opened, they had actually a sand volleyball court right there where you saw that young man digging in the sand, but the ball kept bouncing over onto the field, so they decided maybe it isn't quite such a good idea to have a volleyball court right there.
1-1 on Glendon Rusch.
Great area up there where you can bring a blanket. Much like a spring training game, just roll out the blanket, bring a picnic basket, and enjoy the ball game from up there on the hill.
One, two inside.
One thing's for sure, you don't have to worry about getting hit with a home run ball out there. If somebody ever hits one up on that grass, they ought to build a statue in his honor.
Send it to the Hall of Fame.
Oh my.
They did make one, I would say it was an insignificant change for the batters. They get a better look at the pitchers. 3-2 to Glendon. That ball hit very well. Ojeda will make. Did he catch it? No, he did not catch it. And Glendon will end up at second. Boy, Ojeda wasn't running that hard. He just kept drifting. And he was unable to make the catch. Well, that ball was hit very well.
A couple of factors here. Number one, Ojeda knows the ball doesn't carry well in this ballpark, and he also knows that it's a pitcher at the plate. He's just gliding on this ball. Suddenly he has to go back at the last instant, can't make the play. That's ruled a double off the bat of Glendon Rusch.
It's his second career double. And here's Nafee. And there's a strike. All right, Nafee's a very good bunter. The Padres cornermen are in, but again, he has been so hot at the plate, a 10-game hitting streak, and he did not square to bunt on that first pitch.
I think given the fact it's the third inning of a ball game, Nafee has been swinging a hot bat. Take your chance on hooking that ball to the right side of the field, and yeah, if he does it, good. If he doesn't do it, you have your 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up with a runner already in scoring position.
You'd think big inning in a spot like this. And he took it 4-2. Again, that batter's eye out in center field wasn't quite wide enough last year, according to some of the Padres hitters. Jeff Francis of the Rockies, a left-hander, when he pitched here, apparently when he came from the side, the ball was coming from beyond on the left side. So they added some more batter's eye, a couple of walls out there. Ryan Klesko drifting, and he will make the catch as Glendon Rusch will have to stay at second.
There you see the areas where the green bushes are covering those two extensions on either side of the batter's eye. If you had either a right-hander or a left-hander, especially a tall, long-armed, long-legged pitcher that dropped down low 3/4, they were pitching outside of the batter's eye and made it very tough to pick up the pitches.
Thought it was a nice touch. They added some more greenery here.
Sure.
Walker flied to right his first time. Takes a strike. Todd is 4 for 20 since coming off the DL. Ground ball to Nevin. Rusch moves to third, and that's out number 2. Hey, Cubs fans, have you hit our WGN baseball blog brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts? You can do so by going to WGNTV.com/baseball blog. And on the blog, Dusty talks about the Cubs' tough upcoming schedule. We check in with Vin Scully and tonight's game notes courtesy of our friends at Statsing. Ball 1 on Derek Lee. Good block by Hernandez. He does everything very well. Ramon Hernandez, All-Star back in 2000. Winding the 1-0. Now 2-0 on Lee. Pitch. 3-0. Burnett's on deck. He singled in the first inning. And Lee walks for the second time. I want to give a shout out to the folks at NorthsideBaseball.com. Send us some emails. We do a lot of baseball articles and focus in on the Cubs. First and third with 2 outs. We're in the 3rd inning tonight. I also did a Q&A with fine folks at Decipio.com. A few different questions, but got through it. It was fun. On baseball and other things. There's a strike, and it reminds me, remember in the first week or so of the season, we received an email. Cubs fan put a challenge to us if the Cubs were to win 10 in a row. Remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah, you have to shave the mustache and goatee, and I have to grow one if the Cubs win 10 straight. So if they sweep this series, get ready.
No problem.
We will gladly do that.
Seems kind of unfair, though. I mean, mine is gone. Yours takes a while.
Yeah, it will take a little bit. Yep. 3 balls and a strike.
You'd have to rent a weed eater to shave that mustache. Bruce Bochy's had one of the thicker mustaches in Major League Baseball ever since his playing days.
Maybe I can borrow it for a few days. And well, left center field, Dave Roberts going to have to go chase it down. Glendon Rusch is going to score. Derek Lee rounding third and heading for home. Jeremy Burnett's with a 2-run double. Well, you love to see the hits come right after a walk to Derek Lee, and it's happened twice here tonight.
That's what you need to have happen. Derek Lee, as hot as he's been, figures to be pitched around quite often. Stauffer left one up over the inside part of the plate. The ball just kept tailing further and further away from Dave Roberts. Yeah, the guy hitting behind Derek Lee, whether it be Aramis Ramirez or in the case tonight, Jeremy Burnett, it's very important that they swing the bat in those situations, come up with those timely base hits to discourage teams from pitching around or just outright walking Derek Lee. Big pitch count already, 60 pitches here in the 3rd inning.
And again, because this is a 4-game series, you think a lot more about a bullpen. And if the Cubs can get to the Padres bullpen early tonight, that'll affect the rest of the series. The Padres bullpen has the best ERA in the National League.
Well, they have some guys down there that have been vulturing some victories as well. Chris Hammond 5-0. Dennis Reyes 3-0. How are we pronouncing Rudy's last name? Sinez?
Sinez.
Rudy Sinez 3-0. Guys that come in there with their team either tied or trailing and find a way to hold the other team until the Padres scored some runs for them and came away with victories.
Cubs bullpen was busy last night as Karanka went 5 innings, so the bullpen had to eat up the final 4 innings. Todd Wellemeyer gave up his first run since returning from AAA Iowa in early May. 1-2 to Ramirez. Fouled out of play right side. Burnett's with a 2-run double, so the Cubs with an early lead tonight as they shoot for their 7th consecutive win. The last Cubs team to have a winning streak of 7 or more games was the 2001 Cubs. And that team won 12 straight from May 19th to June 2nd. Another 1-2, fly to right. Ojeda has it. Inning over. Glendon Rusch starts the inning with a double. He'll score later on the Burnett's double. It's 2-0.
I'm Chris Alexander.
I'm Joe Lay.
I'm Lisa Adelsberger.
And I'm proud to work at Anheuser-Busch.
The only major American brewery that's still American owned.
Because when profits stay in the U.S., so does your money.
Because all of us believe
the greatest country in the world deserves the best beer in the world.
Why do the employees of Anheuser-Busch work so hard to make the world's finest beer?
Because I'm an owner.
I'm an owner.
I'm an owner.
This is America's beer. This is Anheuser-Busch.
You know the feeling. Every guy's had it. You're unbeatable, unstoppable. You got that walking on water feeling. You look, they smile. You win, they go home. It's the feeling you get every day with the world's best shave. M3 Power. Every move is smooth. Every word is cool. I never want to lose that feeling. Gillette, the best American
Farmers Auto Insurance gets you back where you belong.
Breakups are the best. When you don't want to see me anymore? That's cool. Let me get my guitar and my laptop. I'll write about it. I'll record it, mix it, make a CD. I won't be all depressed and home. I'll be in a home studio, which is good, because I don't want to go out and meet someone new. That'd blow the whole album.
Start something loud. Start anything you like. With a world of software and devices that run on Windows.
Welcome back. For the perfect blend of heat and flavor, use Frank's Red Hot. Most other hot sauces are more about heat. Frank's Red Hot, the only one with red hot flavor.
Well, Jeremy Burnett's has been big here early on. It is 2-0 Cubs. Cubs and MBNA give you a chance to explore beautiful Wrigley Field. This 90-minute tour includes a clubhouse field, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates from April to September. All the proceeds benefit Cubs Care, a fund of the McCormick Tribune Foundation. Call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit Cubs.com. Damian Jackson leading off the Padres third. The Padres with 1 hit but no runs through 2. Jackson briefly a Cub last year, 7 games in a Cubs uniform, and again he's playing second with Mark Loretta on the disabled list. One of the big things for the Padres in the offseason, spent a lot of time with their bullpen, as we talked about in the last half inning, and their bench. They have a deep bench. Swing and a miss. So Glendon Rusch with his second strikeout tonight.
Glendon working quickly as he always does, throwing strikes, and then as he gets ahead in the count, just expanding that zone enough. Fastball elevated out over the plate, but off the outside corner where Jackson couldn't get to it.
Now the pitcher Stauffer, strike one. So I mean, you have guys like Blum and Jackson who are now in the starting lineup. Robert Fick, left-handed hitter with pop. Xavier Nady, a young outfielder who can also play third base. And boy, one of the best pinch hitters in baseball for quite some time, Mark Sweeney.
And as you said, a couple of those guys getting more playing time now with some injuries, but guys who know their roles. They know what they have to do to prepare to take that one pinch hit at bat late in the ball game.
Grounder to Ramirez. 2 outs in the inning. Glendon Rusch has retired 6 in a row. If you look at Glendon's numbers in his career as a starting pitcher through 2003, he was 41-75. with a 5.15 ERA. The last 2 seasons as a starter with the Cubs, 6-3 and an ERA of 3.23. This year, his starter ERA is 2.35. And a pitch to Dave Roberts. Curveball for a strike.
Once again, keep an eye on that back foot of Dave Roberts. His left foot, when he tries to bunt for a base hit, he takes a jab step up behind home plate and then tries to take the ball with him down that first baseline. Of course, the problem is you have to remind the umpire to watch for it, because the home plate umpire obviously is tracking the flight of the ball. You have to alert the base umpires to keep their eyes open and make sure he does not do that.
Got him. Dave Roberts out on strikes. Back to back. 1, 2, 3 innings for Rusch.
Free to move about the country.
Keep on the sunny side.
At Days Ends, it's not just about the change we put in your pocket. It's about the change we make in your journey.
Why don't you keep on the sunny side of life?
It's the hot thing in activewear. Bengay's Ultra Strength Pain Relieving Patch. Now even stronger for deep heating relief. And it lasts up to 8 hours. Try the Ultra Strength Bengay Pain Relieving Patch. It's what's hot in pain relief.
What can we do that would be fantastic?
Make a date with Sex and the City.
I better check my book.
For the very first time, see it 7 nights a week.
Invite everyone fabulous you know and dress up.
Make the time this fall.
Go, have fun.
Book the date starting September 19th.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Because Sex and the City will be here.
Wow.
7 nights a week this fall.
Be there or be square.
God, you're old.
Coming to Superstation WGN this fall.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
2-0 Cubs, 4th inning. On Monday, June 13th, the first 20,000 fans will receive a scratch and win card with a chance to take home an MLB authenticated autographed Ron Santo photo, compliments of Exelon. There will be 500 random winners. Fans are encouraged to hold on to their cards for second chance drawings throughout the game. For complete rules, visit Cubs.com. Ron has the pullover on tonight. Again, it's a cool night here in San Diego. Temperatures in the mid-60s as Corey Patterson bunts one toward third, and it'll be an infield hit. Just deadened that ball, and Jeff Blum didn't even make a throw. So Patterson's hitting streak now at 8 games.
It looked like a lob wedge up to a green right there. A lot of backspin. The ball hits between third base and the pitcher's mound and kind of checks up away from the pitcher. Over in front of Jeff Blum. He knows he has no play on Corey Patterson with his speed, so he just lets it roll, but it dies right there in fair territory.
Now Du Bois with a runner at first and nobody out. Pop foul and back to the seats behind the Padre dugout.
Jason Du Bois sneaking up on 100 at bats, 95 at bats after his strikeout back in the second inning, and we're starting to see some patterns emerge as advanced scouts get a better look at Jason, have an idea of where his weaknesses are. We're seeing teams pitch him away, especially with a lot of breaking balls away. When they do throw him fastballs, they try to keep it out of the zone away. And a breaking ball right there. And of course, now it's time for Jason to make some adjustments. Start thinking about driving the ball to the opposite field a few times, especially in situations like this with a huge hole on the right side of the infield. If they're going to pitch him away, take the ball the opposite way. And if he does that a few times, he'll force them to come back inside again, which is the pitch he really wants to hit. He's proven he can handle that fastball in.
Long to Jackson at second, and the relay throw is scooped by Nevin. That's a double play as the Padres go around the horn.
Tailor-made double play ball. A step to Blum's left leads him right into the throw at second base, and that ball had a lot of top spin. Actually, a pretty nice play by Phil Nevin over there at first base. He made 13 errors at first base, an unusually high number for a first baseman in 04.
Strike one on Michael Barrett. One and one. Tim Stauffer was a first-round pick back in 2003 out of the University of Richmond. He was the 4th overall pick in that draft. Pretty interesting. He was offered something like $3 million, but then he revealed that he had a problem with his shoulder. Michael Barrett lines one to the left. Klesko is there to make the catch. So Stauffer was honest with the Padres. He got a lot less to sign.
Introducing Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. So revolutionary, it targets and kills the toughest weeds without harming your lawn. Weed Be Gone Max sprayed here. Ordinary weed killer here. Only Weed Be Gone Max has a foaming action and weed targeting formula for total root kill. So it killed the weeds, but not the grass. The ordinary weed killer didn't target anything. So it killed everything. New Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. Kills weeds, not lawns. Guaranteed.
For my sport, the only sunscreen is Copper Tone Sport.
It's non-greasy, so I won't lose my grip.
And it doesn't run in my eyes, no matter how hard I sweat.
Copper Tone Sport, high-performance sunscreens.
Welcome back. For the perfect blend of heat and flavor, use Frank's Red Hot. Most other hot sauces are more about heat. Frank's Red Hot, the only one with red hot flavor.
There it is, the one from Cars.com.
So do you take them everywhere?
Huh? Oh. Yeah, I hired them for the day. Big moment, you know?
Finding the car you want feels pretty good. Cars.com can help. Research, locate, even contact the dealer.
Ooh, moonroof.
Find the right car for you. Cars.com.
2-0 Cubs. Let's pause briefly for station identification.
This is America's home for sports all year round. Superstation WGN.
Glendon Rusch has pitched very well in relief and as a starter this year. Right now in the rotation. And he's looking for his 5th win overall this year and his 3rd win as a starter here in 2005. Jeff Blum into left center. Corey Patterson will not get there in time. So it's a single for Jeff Blum. Second hit for the Padres here tonight. Ryan Klesko singled to left in the first inning. We'll see how the Cubs shift here. Nathy Perez is shaded up the middle, and you see where Ramirez is way off the line at third.
And Todd Walker almost over in the hole between first and second base. Normally in a double play situation, both middle infielders would pinch to the bag, but because Klesko is such a dead pull hitter, they're just going to take that hole away from him. Nafy will take the bag on any double play attempt, no matter where the ball is hit, which can cause for some awkward attempted double plays. I mean, a nubbed ground ball to Aramis Ramirez at third base, he's going to have to throw to the shortstop covering second, and that's obviously not a play Nafy is used to making. Dusty Baker and his coaching staff have gone over all the tendencies for every hitter on this Padres team, and they know where Klesko hits the ball on the ground, where he hits the ball in the air, and they position their defense accordingly.
Here comes Glendon on a 3-1. Slicing and caught by Du Bois. One out in the inning, and it'll bring up Phil Nevin. Fly to very deep right to end the opening inning.
And Nevin has tremendous power to the opposite field. He's probably got as much power to right field as any right-handed hitter in the National League. He definitely has lost a lot of home runs in this ballpark.
As a Padre, he has hit 155 home runs, second on the franchise list. Nate Colbert is the all-time leader with 163. Popped him up behind first. Derek Lee going over. And he just can't get there.
Defensive position, that would have been a can of corn for Derek Lee, but after holding on the runner Blum at first base, bounces off the bag and then has to retreat back into foul territory and battle the security guard down there, dragging the chair out of the way.
He's all business. 1-2. Okay, I'm intimidated. Look at something else.
He's upset he wasn't able to make the play.
1-2 pitch and fouled off by Nevin. There's Mark Loretta, and again he's going to be on the disabled list into the second half. He's hoping he'll be available for the stretch run the final 2 months. Just had left thumb surgery. Looped into left center. First and second with one out.
Those big strong guys don't have to get full extension to hit the ball hard. Fastball in on his hands. Nevin just kind of pulls the bat in close to his body, gets the head of the barrel on the ball. Little soft liner out into left center field.
Ramon Hernandez.
Hey, Hernandez will surprise you from time to time with a bunt for a base hit. He's very good at it. He can handle the bat extremely well for a catcher, and that bunt for a base hit is a big part of his arsenal.
Well, he leads all major league catchers with 55 hits and 29 RBIs. And talking about offense and his defense, he says, I try to combine them both, but catching is more important. He's a catcher first and a hitter second. Rainbow to center. Long tags, but he's going to stay at second. So 2 away. And Rusch will face Miguel Ojeda, who struck out swinging in the second inning. Cubs leading 2-0 on a 2-out, 2-run double from Jeremy Burnitz in the third.
Glendon Rusch has been pretty solid all year pitching out of the rotation for the Cubs, but especially in this particular situation with runners in scoring position. He's held the opposition to a 148 batting average. Only Roger Clemens of the Houston Astros has held opposing hitters to a lower average with runners in scoring position. A lot of that's just his experience and his craftiness. He knows that in those situations, hitters are naturally going to be more aggressive, and that's when he really expands the strike zone. Gets some swings on pitches that hitters can't really handle well.
Looking ahead to the rest of this series, Sergio Mitre will start for the Cubs tomorrow night against Adam Eaton, who is 7-1. Sergio will have his family here in attendance. Went to high school in the San Diego area. Greg Maddux and left-hander Darrell May on Saturday. Catch that one right here on WGN. And then Sunday, we mentioned it, Zambrano and Peavy. Jake Peavy is 5-0. And his ERA is 2.37. Greg Maddux will go into his start on Saturday, 3-3.
A lot of people have favorably compared Jake Peavy to a young Greg Maddux. Very similar stuff.
Swing and a miss. Blew him away on an 86-mile-an-hour fastball. The crafty lefty. Still 2-0.
The multifunctional element from Honda. Where will it take you?
Get ready for triple the action with all-access editions of 3 great movies. Now with more excitement. Oh, hell no. More adrenaline.
Pizza! Run!
More thrills. And hours of never-before-seen bonus material. Buy any all-access edition and get movie money for Fantastic Four, coming soon to theaters.
Gotcha. This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by CarQuest. 3,600 CarQuest Auto Parts stores across North America.
Who says real men don't cry? Your weekly reality check. Maximum exposure.
Sundays at 11 on Superstation WGN.
Cubs leading the Padres 2-0. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Watch the stories your neighbors never told you about. It's America's Funniest Home Videos. Weekdays at 4 Eastern on Superstation WGN. Where comedy isn't just very funny, it's super funny.
Glendon Rusch with a leadoff double in the 3rd inning. He would score on the 2-run double by Jeremy Burnitz, and he hits a ground ball right to Damian Jackson. Well, we'd like to congratulate the granddaughter of Hall of Famer Billy Williams, Jasmine Christine Simpson, on her graduation tonight. Great to see Billy and Shirley Williams here at the ball game tonight. He's got that California shirt working tonight.
Yeah, he's got the look going, the SoCal look.
And a nice night to be out here. Light jacket weather. Rafi Perez is 0 for 2.
You talked about that gray kind of overcast, cloudy look to the morning and afternoon here. This time of year in San Diego, they call it the June gloom. You rarely see the sunshine for more than an hour or two during the course of a day. It takes a long time for the marine layer to burn off in the morning, and then the afternoon layer rolls in early, and you don't see a whole lot of sunshine in the month of June. They more than make up for it the other 11 months of the year.
One and two on Nafy. An artistic statement in the on-deck circle. Well, you wonder if they're watching out there in the penthouse, they get a good view of the ballpark out there. It's a little farther away than it would be if you're across from Waveland or Sheffield.
Somebody needs to take their Christmas lights down.
Bounce towards short for Khalil Green. It's really not that close, but you got to spend some good coin to get one of those.
I would imagine so, yeah. I mean, how long can it take? That's one string of lights there.
Getting ready for Father's Day, 4th of July coming up. Toward right, but Damian Jackson cuts it off, spins, and a good throw to Phil Nevin. 3 ground ball outs for the Cubs in the 5th, and they lead it tonight 2-0.
Hey guys, listen up! Someone leave their lunch at the last rest stop? There's a sandwich and we got a Pepsi, still cold. Name on the back says Spartacus. Is there a Spartacus here to claim this?
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
Wow, you hit it. I know. Weird. Are you okay? Well, I've got a fruit buzz. What's a fruit buzz? It's, you eat the new fruit and walnut salad from McDonald's. Yeah. It's fresh apples and grapes, low-fat yogurt, sweet candied walnuts. It's so awesome. It just makes me feel like trying. I know. Weird.
For breakfast, lunch, or just a snack, McDonald's new fruit and walnut salad. Get a fruit buzz.
There are 2 ways to kill weeds. Ortho season-long grass and weed killer, or the leading brand. Both kill existing weeds, but only season-long forms a protective barrier to prevent new weeds, all season guaranteed. So you won't have to spray month after month after month. The choice is yours. Kill weeds for the season, or spend the season killing weeds. Ortho season-long grass and weed killer. All weeds, all gone, all season.
Welcome back. For the perfect blend of heat and flavor, use Frank's Red Hot. Most other hot sauces are more about the heat.
Frank's Red Hot, the only one with red hot flavor.
A 14-year study by Purina proves that dog chow nutrition, fed properly over a lifetime, can help add up to 2 healthy years to your dog's life. Long live your buddy, long live your dog. Purina Dog Chow.
Time to have a ball with the Illinois Lottery. And Chance Remlinger having a ball before the game tonight.
The whole uniform gone. Got a chance to go out and play a little catch with Dad before the game.
Of course, Mike is currently on the disabled list. Hopefully won't be out very long. The fractured left pinky. Khalil Green, the number 7 hitter, leading off the 5th for the Padres. They have 3 hits tonight, all singles against Lyndon Rusch. As he looks for his first career win against the Pods. Speaking of broken fingers, Khalil Green missed 21 games with a fractured right ring finger in late April, early May. He suffered the injury at Dodger Stadium And it was a second straight trip to L.A. that resulted in a broken finger for Green. He broke his right index finger fielding a grounder in mid-September last year. So Dodger Stadium has been bad luck for Khalil Green. Three-two pitch. Fly ball to center. And again, if you pitch to that part of the park, you're going to be in good shape. And Glendon Rusch has gotten 4 fly ball outs to center field here tonight.
I think it's just smart pitching. Know the conditions. Very much like pitching at Wrigley Field with the wind blowing in as opposed to pitching at Wrigley with the wind blowing out. If you got that wind howling straight in, when push comes to shove, you need to make a pitch, throw it up and out over the plate, and let them see how far they can hit it into the teeth of the wind. Well, same thing at this ballpark.
Patterson with a catch, got a great jump.
Ground balls and line drives are the way to go here at Petco Park. You're going to lose a lot of points on your batting average trying to elevate the ball and hit it out of this ballpark.
Strike one on Stauffer. Padres are second in the National League in runs. They finished 8th last year. Only team that has scored more runs this year in the National League, the St. Louis Cardinals. Speaking of the Cardinals, they lost in Colorado today 8-7 as the Rockies scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. It will kick foul as Ramirez picks it up, so Stauffer denied an infield hit.
That's a smart play by Aramis Ramirez. He's not going to have a throw to get Stauffer at first base. That slow roller down the third baseline. You might as well let it go and hope it goes foul. And ideally, the corner infielders came out here during batting practice today along with Michael Barrett. Henry Blanco rolled some balls down both lines to see whether those swinging bunts like that would roll foul or are they going to stay fair. That's one of the first things you do when you come out for batting practice in a new ballpark.
Swing and a miss. Inning over. We're through 5 tonight. It's 2-0 Cubs.
Maybe this isn't the best time to say it, but I think you're really beautiful.
Well, I've always been attracted to you too, Paul.
Wait, hold on one sec, babe. Excuse me?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines from Chicago Midway to select cities in the Midwest for just $49 one way. Give your gas card a break and fly Southwest Airlines.
You are now free to move about the country.
Keep on the sunny side.
At Days Ends, it's not just about the change we put in your pocket. It's about the change we make in your journey.
Why don't you keep on the sunny side of life?
They say your footprint is as unique as your fingerprint.
It's like me, unique.
That's why Dr. Scholl's created memory fit insoles with memory foam to form to the shape of your foot.
It forms right around your feet.
For customized comfort, see the doctor, Dr. Scholl's.
Hey, I came as soon as I heard about Muffin.
He was the sweetest cat ever.
I know. It's all right.
He's just so cute.
Mocha.
No, baby, Muffin.
Muffin. Yeah, Muffin. The cat.
The tempting DQ Latte in mocha, cappuccino, French vanilla, and new caramel. Do one.
There it is. The one from Cars.com.
So do you take them everywhere?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I hired them for the day. Big moment, you know?
Find the right car for you. Cars.com. This is America's home for super comedy. Superstation WGN.
Time now for our Budweiser Game Time Fan Cam from Petco Park. Pets by Porno for Pyros here at Petco Park. Lyndon Rusch threw 5, a 3-hitter, and he hasn't allowed a run. Derek Lee has walked twice and has scored once. As Stauffer works to him here in the 6th inning.
This is where it'll be interesting to see how Stauffer goes after Derek Lee. Leading off an inning, he certainly doesn't want to just walk him. But he has not shown very much willingness to throw a strike to Derek Lee up to this point. And when he has thrown strikes, it's been on a big loopy breaking ball. Just tried to get it over the heart of the plate.
Hitters count here for Lee. The wind and the 2-0 pitch. It misses 3-0. It's next. He's 2 for 2. Taken all the way. And we mentioned going to break earlier. Tim Stauffer offered a lot of money to sign as a first-round pick back in 2000, but then he disclosed that his shoulder wasn't right. So he ended up getting $750,000 to sign. I mean, you give him a ton of credit for his honesty. It cost him a lot of money up front. He ended up not pitching at all in 2003 after signing because of a small tear in his labrum. Right center. And Derek Lee, 6 for his last 6 over the last 2 nights. Man, is he hot.
We'll talk about making adjustments, and Derek Lee knows that teams are going to try to stay away from him, so he just goes with that fastball out over the plate, lines it into the gap in right center. Only the fact that the Padres outfielders were playing so deep kept that from being an extra base hit. Ojeda standing with his heels on the warning track out there in right field.
Derek is 8 for his last 9 against 6 for his last 6.
Well, another thing that separates Derek Lee in that particular situation, leading off an inning, it was obvious the Padres didn't want to pitch to him. If you walk him, his speed is the separator. A lot of big power hitters, you walk them leading off an inning, and it's going to take 2 base hits to score him from first base. And Derek Lee could conceivably steal a bag right here and get himself into scoring position. He could score from first base on a double. Not very many power hitters in the middle of a lineup can do the things that he does on a baseball field.
Rudy Sinez, right-hander, is up for the Padres. Well, the other thing for Derek Lee, with the 2 walks tonight, he's not only 6 for his last 6 the last 2 nights, but he's reached base in his last 8 straight plate appearances. Pulled foul and out of play by Burnitz. Also hearing that Derek Lee with his 1,000th career hit. Well, I mentioned the other day he was 9 hits away. That wasn't that long ago.
You didn't think he was going to get it in 2
no,
days.
I didn't. So congrats to Derek, his 1,000th career hit, and Burnitz is 3 for 3. And we mentioned that number early on. Tim Stauffer has not been able to get out cleanup men, and he hasn't tonight. Burnitz 3 for 3.
Bernie with the great approach as well, much like Derek Lee going to the opposite field with his base hit to open the inning. Burnitz just shoots one through that hole in the left side. Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, out to stall for a little bit of time, gives Sinez more time to get loose in that Padres bullpen. Sneaking up on 100 pitches here. He went past the 90 pitch mark here in this inning. Right at 90 with nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning.
Ramirez is 0 for 2. The pitch to him is a strike. I mentioned the Cardinals lost at Coors Field. The final 8-7 Rockies, so the Cubs right now 6 back of St. Louis in the division. Base hit to left. Lee rounding third. He'll score easily. Burnett's trying to get to third. He will standing. And Ramirez with an RBI single. It's 3-0. And they're at the corners with nobody out. 3 straight hits here in the 6th inning.
It's been another big difference for the Cubs over the last week or 10 days. The ability to bunch hits together. So many instances in the first month of the season when it could seem like they couldn't get 2 base runners on in the same inning. Back to back to back singles here to open the 6th inning. Played a run, and the Padres are still in trouble.
The Cubs will say goodbye to Tim Stauffer, chasing him out of the game with 3 straight hits to start the 6th. So Rudy Sinez, a veteran righty, will come in. 3-0 Cubs, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. For the perfect blend of heat and flavor, use Frank's Red Hot. Most other hot sauces are more about heat.
Frank's Red Hot, the only one with red hot flavor.
If your doctor says you're at risk for a heart attack, there's a Bear made just for your heart, and it can have a big impact on your life. It's Bear Low Dose. It was the first low-dose safety-coated aspirin, and it can significantly reduce your risk of a heart attack. Aspirin is not appropriate for everyone, so be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen. And remember, no other brand prevents more heart attacks than Bear. The more you know, the more you trust Bear.
It's the hot thing in activewear. Bengay's Ultra Strength Pain Relieving Patch. Now even stronger for deep heating relief. And it lasts up to 8 hours. Try the Ultra Strength Bengay Pain Relieving Patch. It's what's hot in pain relief.
On the next Will and Grace.
When Karen's chauffeur hits a bump in the road.
Is he okay? A little rattled, but he always gets like that when he hits someone.
Will she trade him in on a newer model?
Fire him. I can't just fire him because he's a raging incompetent.
Or does he have a few more good miles left in him?
Am I fired because I'm a bad driver?
No, I know that you... Honey, I'm over here now.
Next, Will and Grace. Tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern on WGN.
There are the updated standings in the Central Division. The Cubs right now in 2nd place, 6 back of the St. Louis Cardinals. And also interesting to note that if you look at the wild card standings, the Diamondbacks leading the standings, but they lost at Shea 6-1. The Cubs are 3rd in the wild card, a game and a half out. So it's Rudy Sinez to come in here in the 6th inning. The Cubs have runners at 1st and 3rd, a run already in, and Corey Patterson coming up.
Big strikeout numbers for Sinez. Mentioned earlier, 3 victories out of the bullpen. He's been the guy to come into situations like this and stop the bleeding and give the Padres a chance to get back into the ball game. Hopefully the Cubs won't let that happen tonight.
They lead 3-0. Burnett's the runner at 3rd, Ramirez at 1st, at about a 2-step lead. But Sinez threw over there anyway. Well, Jeremy came into this one tonight 2 for 14 on the trip, but he's 3 for 3. Swing and a miss. Sinez with a fastball, a slider, and a changeup. Boyce on deck, 1-1 on Patterson. And another throw to first.
Seen as a perfect example of the old cliche about not burning bridges when you leave somewhere. This is his 3rd tour of duty with the San Diego Padres. Signed here as a free agent back in '93. Again in 2001. And again in the offseason.
And he's from Southern California. Here he comes on a 1-2, and he struck out Patterson for out number 1.
He does with a couple of good change-ups to Corey Patterson during that sequence. Real good arm speed. I tell you, there was a time in his career he could rush it to the plate with the best of them. Had a fastball in the high 90s, still throws in the low to mid 90s consistently, but that changeup has been the pitch that's really allowed him to continue pitching at this advanced stage of his career. Big overhand curveball there for strike one to Jason Du Bois.
And a rough couple of at-bats for Jason, a strikeout and a double play. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. So he's going with a couple of breaking balls and 2 quick strikes on Du Bois. Into left, and that ball will get down. So Du Bois on an 0-2 pitch knocks in Jeremy Burnitz, and it's 4-0.
It wasn't pretty, but it was effective. A third breaking ball in a row. That one, Du Bois able to hit just off the end of the bat, loop it over the infield ahead of Ryan Klesko. That one caught a little bit more plate, stayed more in the middle of the plate, hits it off the very end of the bat, but he's strong enough to muscle it out there in front of Ryan Klesko. That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to hit some of those breaking balls. As we mentioned earlier, he's going to have to start shooting the ball to the opposite field, and that will get teams to come back inside where he truly wants the ball.
4th hit of the inning, and the Cubs have scored twice to stretch the lead to 4. Jason now with 19 RBIs. Sinez with a 1-1. Michael held up in a check swing. I'm sure Dusty recalls a game he had against the San Diego Padres back in 1977. Knocked in 5 runs in the 2nd inning. And the Dodgers 18-4 win. A 2-run double and a 3-run homer in the same inning. That time Michael went.
He had a good week 1 inning.
Yeah. Two, and now it's full.
Runners probably won't go here with Glendon Rusch on deck. You don't want to risk running into a double play and have the pitcher leading off the next half inning. So not on the move. Barrett takes a called third.
So Sinez with 2 strikeouts.
Sure what Michael Barrett was looking for. Big breaking ball right there in the middle of the plate. That was actually kind of a hanger, but obviously looking for something other than that pitch.
So it's up to Rusch. 1st and 2nd, 2 down here in the 6th. Glendon's been very consistent at the plate. He came in hitting 154. That's what he hit last year. And in his career 153, although look at his average now. After a 1-for-2 to start it tonight. The 1-0 is on the way. Tap foul. Been a great start to this West Coast trip as the Cubs swept the Dodgers in Los Angeles for the first time in 10 years. And they lead here in the opener of this series 4-0. 1-1. Now 2 balls and a strike. when you have a good team, we talk about the tough schedule coming up for the Cubs. I don't think it matters who you're playing. It matters how you're playing.
And how your opponent is playing at that time. I mean, it's inevitable rather, that teams are going to have cycles during the course of the season. Even the good teams are going to have road trips or homestands where things just don't come together for them very well. Either they don't pitch well, they don't score runs. It just happens in the game of baseball. And when you bump up against the so-called good teams that you see on your schedule and you catch them when they're hot, there's not much you can do about it. You catch them when they're cold, you might go in there and take 2 out of 3, maybe sweep a series and get the heck out of town before they wake up. Yeah, right now the Cubs just playing with a lot of confidence, finding ways to win.
Bases loaded as Rusch gets the walk to extend this inning.
Believe me, as a manager, you think about that too. We mentioned that the Padres had won 11 straight before losing to the Brewers last night. And I'm sure somewhere in the back of Bruce Bochy's mind, he was thinking, it's not going to be this good all season. At some point, we're going to cool off and lose some games. And certainly in his mind, he hopes it's a very short losing streak. But you never know. You win 11 in a row at home. The next thing you know, you turn around and you've lost 10 in a row at home. It's the way baseball works.
Bases full for Nafee. Popped it up on the first pitch. Going back is Hernandez, but it hits the top of the screen, so the Cubs get a break. That's the other part of streaks, and when your team is living right.
Catching breaks, yeah. I'm telling you.
He would have made that catch a couple of weeks ago against the Cubs, but not now. Nafee with new life.
Just a matter of a couple of inches right there. The ball hit the very top of the backstop, preventing Hernandez from making a play. And when things are going good, the next pitch is whacked into the gap for extra bases.
There's a lot of gap for Nafee in right center. Roberts shading him the other way. On the ground, Nevin will underhand to Sinez, and he's able to step on the bag before Nafee. Cubs do get a couple of runs, 4 hits. They strand 3, and they lead 4-0.
Introducing a new kind of beer, Budweiser Select, brewed for a crisp taste that finishes clean. A beer this good was a long time coming. Step up to new Budweiser Select. A crisp taste that finishes clean. Be selective.
Welcome back. For the perfect blend of heat and flavor, use Frank's Red Hot. Most other hot sauces are more about heat. Frank's Red Hot, the only one with red hot flavor.
It's the hot thing in activewear. Bengay's Ultra Strength Pain Relieving Patch. Now even stronger for deep heating relief. And it lasts up to 8 hours. Try the Ultra Strength Bengay Pain Relieving Patch. It's what's hot in pain relief.
There are 2 ways to kill weeds. Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer, or the leading brand. Both kill existing weeds, but only Season-Long forms a protective barrier to prevent new weeds, all season guaranteed. So you won't have to spray month after month after month. The choice is yours. Kill weeds for the season, or spend the season killing weeds. Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer. All weeds, all gone, all season.
What can we do that would be fantastic?
Make a date with Sex and the City.
I better check my book.
For the very first time, see it 7 nights a week.
Invite everyone fabulous you know and dress up.
Make the time this fall.
Go, have fun.
Book the date starting September 19th.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Because Sex and the City will be here.
Wow.
7 nights a week this fall.
Be there or be square.
God, you're old.
Coming to Superstation WGN this fall.
Well, the Cubs already with the longest current winning streak in the major leagues at 6 games. They lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the 6th, trying to make it 7 in a row. And Glendon Rusch has not allowed more than 2 runs in any of his starts this year.
Well, the way he's pitching tonight, you certainly wouldn't anticipate him doing too much against him. His command has been outstanding, working in a real quick rhythm, and a lot of very easy outs tonight. A lot of very lazy fly balls to the outfield.
Dave Roberts is 0 for 2 tonight. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Got out of the way and took it for ball 2. Really, everything has come together pitching, and we've seen good defense tonight, and obviously the clutch hitting has continued as well.
Yeah, the clutch hitting. I mean, it's one thing to get a lot of hits and have a high team batting average, but to get those hits with runners in scoring position, to get those hits when you need them the most, that makes a big difference in winning and losing ball games. You know, one thing that's kind of been unnoticed throughout the course of the winning streak, as you mentioned, starting pitching's been great, the timely hitting's been great, the defense has been solid, but the bullpen has had an ERA of 2.21 during the course of the winning streak.
Bunted on the drag bunt, and a great play, barehanded by Lee. Glendon Rusch went from the glove right to the bare hand of D. Lee. What a play. How about some more defense?
Well, usually you see the bare hand play first and the glove play at the end, but in this instance, Glendon Rusch gloves it and flips to Derek Lee, who makes the barehanded catch at the end of the play. Oh, that's a beautiful play. My. Not sure what Dave Roberts is doing there on that play, but great play by both the Cubs pitcher and the first baseman. Glendon Rusch showing his athleticism, making the scoop with the glove. Derek Lee with the one-handed catch at first base. Amazing.
I'm telling you, that's the best defensive play I think we've seen all year. A couple of guys getting together, and that was not an easy pick by Glendon. And a fairly accurate throw considering from the glove hand, and then of course the presence of mind by Derek Lee just a barehanded at the other end.
And the fact that Glendon Rusch is a left-handed pitcher, that's why Dave Roberts tried to bunt the ball that way. Usually a left-handed pitcher will fall somewhat off the mound to the third base side, although Glendon gets himself in pretty good defensive position. He's pretty squared up on the mound, gets a quick jump, gets over there, makes the play himself. Oh, that's beautiful.
1-2 to Blum. Up the middle base hit. So he has now had at least 2 hits in 7 consecutive games.
The soft liner back up the middle of the field. Glendon throws him a fastball inside. Does get in on his hands just a little bit, but he's able to muscle it out there into shallow center.
By the way, Jeff Blum's wife Corey gave birth to triplets in early May. They already had a daughter under the age of 2, so they have 4 girls under the age of 2. So congratulations to the Blum family. He said he asked Luis Gonzalez for some advice. Luis and his wife with triplets, I think born in 1998. And Gonzo just said, be patient and be ready for anything.
Get as much rest as you can when you're on the road.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get any when you're home.
Ryan Klesko hit a total of 9 home runs last year. He has 10 already this year. He hit just 4 home runs between the All-Star breaks of 2003 and 2004. A couple of DL stints during that stretch. Yeah, there you have it. 1 home run on June 2nd of 2004. Fly ball left field. No problem for Du Bois. That's been the theme for Glendon Rusch tonight. Fly ball outs.
Pitching to the ballpark. We said it earlier. That comes from experience. That comes from being a crafty left-handed pitcher that knows that if he gets the Padres to hit the ball in the air, he's got a pretty good chance to get him out tonight.
That's on the season for Glendon. 8 outs have been in the air tonight.
And I think he's intentionally elevated more fastballs tonight than you would normally see him do in a ball game. Generally, he'll try to keep the ball down around the knees, sink it away from the right-handed hitters. occasional cutter away from the lefties, but tonight we're seeing a lot of four-seam fastballs up around the top of the strike zone.
You look at park factor, and that measures the rate of stats in each ballpark. This is the 27th toughest park to hit a home run in the entire major leagues. So out of 30 ballparks, it's ranked 27th in home run factor. The Padres have started to build their team for the ballpark around speed, defense, and pitching. Two and two on Nevin, runner at first with two down here in the sixth. Big reason why they acquired Dave Roberts. Swing and a miss, inning over. Glendon Rusch through 6, working on a 4-hitter.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and the Chicago Cubs.
So in conclusion, we chose the high road and we shifted our paradigm. We bolstered sales to an all-time high increase and leveraged our core equities. That's what I call strategilutions. Thank you.
Watching athletes do their job is just more fun. Drink Pepsi and play the GoPro sweepstakes. You could win a chance to see the World Series, Daytona 500, and more. Drink Pepsi. GoPro.
You know the feeling. Every guy's had it. You're unbeatable, unstoppable. You got that walking on water feeling. You look, they smile. You win, they go home. It's the feeling you get every day with the world's best shave. M3 Power. Every move is smooth. Every word is cool. I never want to lose that feeling. Gillette, the best a man can.
I can drive to the basket, I just can't get it through the hoop.
He wants to be a daddy.
Can't get my wife pregnant.
Of course you can't. You're spending too much time playing sports.
So Becker gives the man exam.
Not going to need the results of that fertility test after all.
We're pregnant.
But guess who didn't deliver the goods?
You know what this means?
I think I do.
It's a miracle.
Next, Becker.
Maybe it would help if you saw a therapist or your clergyman.
Oh, I've seen them both.
You slept with both of them?
Tomorrow night at 11 Eastern on Superstation WGN. The Cubs and Padres gear up for Game 3 out of 4. Saturday at 10 on Superstation WGN.
Glendon Rusch has not had a 20-pitch inning. So he's been fairly efficient tonight. 86 pitches through 6, 4 hits. And the big number, I think, is the 0 under the walks. I mean, pitching to contact, getting a lot of fly ball outs, mixing in those 6 strikeouts. And the Cubs lead 4-0 as we start the 7th. And a right-hander, Brian Falkenborg, is on for the Padres.
Pitching in his 7th ball game. Only 5 1/3 innings pitched up to this point. I think a big reason for no walks tonight for Glendon Rusch. He's been getting ahead of a lot of counts, putting the hitters on the defensive and getting them to swing at his pitch. Makes such a big difference when you're 0-1 as opposed to 1-0. That hitter can be a little more selective, a little more aggressive, but Glendon's been getting ahead in the count and then expanding the strike zone.
Well, he loves seeing what Todd Walker just did. Falkenborg missed with the first pitch. On the second pitch, he just basically had the bat on the shoulder and said, throw me a strike. Swings at that one and misses. 2-1. Every once in a while, well, you like to see those guys at the top of the order just dare the pitcher to throw you a strike. Ball crushed way back, and for Todd Walker, he has gone yard. So he got to a 2-0 count, then swung and missed, and on the 2-1 deposited into the seats for his second home run this year, and it's 5-0.
It's one of the longest home runs you'll see to right center field in this ballpark, just to the right of the 411 mark. That ball was toasted. Man, took a big swing on the pitch before. Gets a fastball right down Broadway. Falkenberg saying to himself, I thought you said this was a big park. Todd Walker made it look small right there.
Strike one on D. Lee, who is 6 for his last 6 and has reached in 8 straight plate appearances. Well, Walk's got the good do working tonight too.
Combed his head with a pillow.
Padres with the best home record in baseball, coming in at 18-5. The Cubs have won 5 straight on the road, 6 straight overall, and 9 of 11. Up the middle, into center. Derek Lee with 1,001 career hits, and he'll be at 2,000 in about 2 weeks.
Man, oh man.
7 consecutive hits for Derek Lee.
And for the Cubs, their 7th game in a row with 10 or more base hits. But Derek Lee making it look easy.
Well, if it weren't for a flyout in the 10th inning on Tuesday night, Derek would be 9 for his last 9. As it is, he's 9 for his last 10. And the best thing about the start for him, he has not changed one bit.
A lot of things around him have changed. The interview requests certainly have gone through the roof for Derek Lee. And that's always a concern. You hate to talk too much about things when they're going good, because you know, obviously he's just going out there playing the game, seeing the ball, relying on his instincts and his preparation to go out there and do what he has to do. And the more you talk about it and analyze it, the better chance there is that it's going to go away.
That it's really that steady nature that he has that every teammate he's ever had totally appreciates, and every manager he's played for.
Yeah, managers appreciate those guys that hit 380.
Yeah. Ripped foul by Burnett. I mean, Dusty enjoys talking to Derek Lee, but we kind of joked that if he didn't want to talk to his first baseman all year, he could just write his name in the lineup. He'd never have to worry about it. And that's a manager's dream, to have a guy like that. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout.
I mean, we've heard of high maintenance players, we've heard of low maintenance players. Derek Lee is just a no maintenance player. Like you said, just put his name in the lineup. You never think about pinch hitting, pinch running, a defensive replacement. The only time you would ever think about taking Derek Lee out of a ball game is if you had a big lead late, wanted to get him out of there, save him some wear and tear, get him in the training room maybe, or let him eat his dinner early. Otherwise, he's going to be in there for 9 innings or more every night. And that's the way he wants it.
1 strike on Ramirez. Ground ball to Blum. He'll get it to Jackson in time, and the relay gets Ramirez, who of course isn't running that well with the bad right ankle. It's a double play to end the inning. Todd Walker with a leadoff homer, and the Cubs now lead 5-0.
Welcome to California.
We run.
We rip.
We fly.
We swing.
We believe.
We believe in Nirvana. We rock!
And we've got our own motto.
So come on. Come on.
Come on. Listen to my wife.
find yourself in California. Fly Southwest Airlines' new nonstop service from Chicago Midway to San Jose for just $84 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
Introducing Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. So revolutionary, it targets and kills the toughest weeds without harming your lawn. Weed Be Gone Max sprayed here. Ordinary weed killer here. Only Weed Be Gone Max has a foaming action and weed targeting formula for total root kill. So it killed the weeds, but not the grass. The ordinary weed killer didn't target anything, so it killed everything. New Ortho Weed Be Gone Max kills weeds, not lawns. Guaranteed.
Hello, Farmers Help Point. How can I help you?
Hi, listen, I just got rear-ended by some yahoo.
Are you okay?
Well, I'm fine. My car's a little busted up, though.
No problem. We'll take care of it.
Farmers Help Point service starts getting things back to normal the moment you call, and it's free with your policy. To find an agent near you, call 1-800-FARMERS.
1, 2,
The new BMW 3 Series.
Todd Walker with a home run to make it 5-0. Let's step aside for station identification.
This is America's home for sports all year round. Superstation WGN.
Bob and Len with you. Our WGN sports crew from San Diego, bottom of the 7th. London Rusch has not allowed a run tonight. He's given up just 4 hits, scattered over the first 6 innings. One-2 Hernandez is fouled away. Well, the estimated distance on the Todd Walker home run, 418 feet, the longest home run here at Petco Park this year. So while he didn't find the park at the park, he hit it a long way. Burnett's on the move, cruising now, and he has it. Stay tuned after the game. The WGN News will follow. Miguel Ojeda has struck out twice tonight. Cubs trying to win their 7th in a row. Should be the longest winning streak for the Cubs since 2001. Caught by Nafee. Ojeda lines out. It's been a rough night at the plate for Nafee on his 32nd birthday. Made a nice catch.
Looked like he was going to jump higher, and the ball didn't go as high as he thought. He kind of caught it in the middle of the palm of the glove. It rolled up the webbing there. Those balls that are hit extremely hard sometimes will do some funny things out there, especially when they're knuckling. That's all the face Nafee made, but made the play.
A strike on Khalil Green, who is flying to center twice. And again, remember the note we had very early on. The last time the Cubs got back-to-back wins from left-handed starters, 1987. Patterson the catch, and Rusch just cruising through 7. Padres with just 4 hits tonight. It's 5-zip Cubs.
On the next Will and Grace.
When Karen's chauffeur hits a bump in the road.
Is he okay? A little rattled, but he always gets like that when he hits someone.
Will she trade him in on a newer model?
Fire him. I can't just fire him because he's a raging incompetent.
Or does he have a few more good miles left in him?
Am I fired because I'm a bad driver?
No, I know that you're... Honey, I'm over here now.
Next, Will and Grace.
Tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern on WGN.
Something was missing. It's all about tradition, Bob.
Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you'll find in no other beer.
Keep on the sunny side.
At Days Inns, it's not just about the change we put in your pocket. It's about the change we make in your journey.
Why don't you keep on the sunny side of life?
Hey, I came as soon as I heard about Muffin.
He was the sweetest cat ever.
I know. It's all right.
He's just so cute.
Mocha.
No, baby, Muffin.
Muffin. Yeah, Muffin. The cat.
The tempting DQ Latte in mocha, cappuccino, French vanilla, and new caramel. Do one.
Cubs leading 5-0 here in the 8th inning. Don't miss Lion Power Day on Tuesday, June 14th, as the Cubs take on the Marlins at 7:05. First 5,000 fans aged 13 and younger will receive a Cubs fan Hubert plush toy. This limited edition doll is the official mascot lion of Harris Bank. That's Lion Power Day on Tuesday, June 14th. London Rusch has been terrific once again tonight. Speaking of Florida, the Marlins avoided the sweep in Pittsburgh, 6-3 the final. Pirates won the first 3 games of that series. Dontrell Willis with his 9th win for Florida. Backhanded play by Jeff Blum, and he will just get Corey Patterson.
Play by Blum down there at third base. That ball coming off the bat of a left-handed batter will usually be spinning closer to the line. Blum was able to stay with it on the backhand play. Evan with a very awkward stretch over there at first base. Started out standing with both feet on the base, and as he started to stretch out for the ball, he reached right back into the baseline and just did get out of the way of Corey Patterson.
One hopper to Green off the bat of Du Bois. Here's the other thing you love. You think about a couple of guys, Glendon Rusch, who's in the starting rotation because Kerry Wood is on the DL. And of course, Glendon, when Wood and Pryor are back, still has a chance to start because Ryan Dempster is now the closer. But John Karanka jumping into the rotation last night and getting a win. So some other guys who are filling in. They have really stepped up for the Cubs. Nathy Perez playing in the place of Nomar at short. Jerry Hairston did a nice job when Todd Walker spent about 6 weeks on the DL.
And a guy like Michael Barrett, who got off to a slow start offensively on the season and has very steadily got his average up there. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game tonight, but was up to 285, I believe, going into play last night. Doing a steady job behind the plate.
Called strike 3. That's a quick 8th inning for Falkenborg. The Cubs lead 5-0.
Well, I had a dream. I stood beneath an orange sky.
The multifunctional element.
Yes, I had a dream. I
from Honda.
Stood beneath an orange sky.
Where will it take you?
Garden Claw, one of America's favorite garden tools, is good as gold. It adjusts to fit gardeners of all sizes. Garden Claw Gold helps you cultivate, loosen, aerate, and weed without being tough on your back. The claw's steel tines tear through all kinds of soil, even clay, bringing moisture and oxygen to plants' roots. And it turns weeds and leaves into beneficial mulch. Garden Claw Gold makes a great gift.
Available at Ace, True Value, Do It Best Hardware, Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, and Kmart.
Honey, who is going to want to buy your lime green hatchback?
Oh, sweet mercy. A lime green hatchback. It's a thing of beauty.
Find the right car or buyer for you. Cars.com.
For my sport, the only sunscreen is Coppertone Sport.
It's non-greasy, so I won't lose my grip.
And it doesn't run in my eyes, no matter how hard I swipe.
Coppertone Sport. High-performance sunscreens.
There are two ways to kill weeds. Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer, or the leading brand. Both kill existing weeds, but only Season-Long forms a protective barrier to prevent new weeds, all season guaranteed. So you won't have to spray month after month after month. The choice is yours. Kill weeds for the season, or spend the season killing weeds. Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer. All weeds, all gone, all season.
Cubs 5, Padres nothing, and you'd have to say cell phones at the ballpark have become ubiquitous.
Yes, indeed.
Kind of like Starbucks, right?
That too.
They're everywhere. Glendon Rusch, again, has not hit 20 pitches all night. He's been very consistent in the mid-90s right now. And ball one to start the bottom of the 8th to Damian Jackson. Xavier Nady, pinch hitter, is on deck. And then the top of the order in Dave Roberts. Two and one the count. And pop foul and out of play. Hey, Cubs fans, if you hit our WGN baseball blog brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts, you can do so by going to WGNTV.com/baseball blog. Again, feel free to give us suggestions for the word of the day. Patterson again in center. Bring up Xavier Nady. Scott Linebrink is up in the Padres pen. I don't know if he was doing some gardening back there in the bullpen before he started throwing, but the plants look pretty good.
They look pretty good for this time of year. Where was that? Shea Stadium? They used to grow tomatoes out in the bullpen.
Yep.
Not sure what particular kind of vegetation that is. But
102 Nady, make it 1-1. Curveball strike. Glendon's had to slow down a little bit between innings tonight because of national television, so some longer breaks between innings, and pretty much every inning he's been out there, he has stood on the mound for a good 25 seconds, waiting patiently for the second base umpire Mark Wegner to tell him you can start. Well, he finishes off Nady for out number 2.
It's tough to change your habits. I mean, both teams are informed when there are longer breaks between innings, as we get a look at strike 3 to Nady right here. But Glendon is so anxious to get out there on the mound, get the inning started, and then work quickly once the inning does start. As you said, he's gone out and thrown his warm-up pitches. Bruce Bochy thought that pitch was down, as did Nady. The crew chief will come over to both dugouts before the ball game and inform them. You know, we have a national TV game tonight. The breaks are going to be longer, and you know, don't be in a big hurry to get out there and get your warm-up pitches in. But after that third out of the inning is made, ball players are very much creatures of habit, and they're going to do what they normally do and go out and prepare to start the next inning.
popped up by Roberts. Boy, interesting. Dusty said before the game with a bullpen situation, said need a long outing from Glendon Rusch. Check that off the list. 8 innings, no runs.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Non-stop service to 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Welcome to California.
We run.
We rip.
We fly.
We swing.
We believe. We believe in Nirvana. We rock! And we've got our own motto. So come on. Come on.
Come on. Listen to my wife.
Find yourself in California. Fly Southwest Airlines' new nonstop service from Chicago Midway to San Jose for just $84 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
Hey, I came as soon as I heard about Muffin.
He was the sweetest cat ever.
I know. It's all right.
He's just so cute.
Mocha.
No, baby, Muffin.
Muffin. Yeah, Muffin. The cat.
The tempting DQ Mulate in mocha, cappuccino, French vanilla, and new caramel. Do one.
Get ready for triple the action with all-access editions of 3 great movies. Now with more excitement.
Oh, hell no.
More adrenaline.
Pizza! Run!
More thrills.
Hold on!
And hours of never-before-seen bonus material. Buy any all-access edition and get movie money for Fantastic Four, coming soon to theaters.
Gotcha.
Who says real men don't cry? Your weekly reality check. Maximum exposure.
Sundays at 11 on Superstation WGN.
This Father's Day, the Cubs will offer Cub fans an opportunity of a lifetime. Just say, hey, Dad, want to have a catch at Wrigley? Spend an hour on Father's Day playing catch in the outfield and running the bases of beautiful Wrigley Field. You'll also receive a commemorative T-shirt, a photograph, and lunch in the Friendly Confines Cafe. Tickets are $150 per person. Call 773-404-CUBS. Spectator tickets are also available for $15 per person and include lunch only. All proceeds benefit Cubs Care, fund of the McCormick Tribune Foundation. Fourth pitcher for the Padres tonight. It is Scott Linebrink, and Glendon Rusch is going to bat here in the 9th. His last complete game was against the Cubs. As you see the numbers for Linebrink, Glendon Rusch's last complete game was as a Milwaukee Brewer on May 7th, 2003. In a 2-1 loss to the Cubs. His last shutout was at St. Louis on June 25th of 2002.
Well, Glendon will take the mound for the bottom half of the 9th inning at only 106 pitches. Not an extraordinary number. He hasn't really had to work too hard tonight.
You'd almost rather see him strike out there, wouldn't you? Just get back in the dugout.
Get back in the dugout.
5-0 lead.
Don't want him to run the bases. Get 3 more outs.
Well, Navy with maybe a final shot here at extending his hitting streak to 11 games. Strike 1 on Perez. Let's check his longest hitting streak. I think it's 17 games in his career. Yeah, back in 2001, 17 games. Linebrink with an 0-2 and a 2-bouncer to Blum. Save. Nafee beats it out. Hitting streak alive at 11. And a late birthday present to himself.
Big smile on Nafee's face down there. He was busting down that line. He could smell it. A high bouncer right down the third baseline. He knows it's going to be a tough play for Jeff Blum. Has to kind of surround the ball, tries to get his momentum going toward first base, but maybe getting out of that left-handed batter's box, that extra step towards first base allows him to keep that hitting streak going.
Walker homered his last time. Fastball off the plate. The 1-0 is outside. Great to see. Our executive producer Bob Borwald out here at the ballpark tonight, along with Bob Ramsey, Derek Lee is on deck. I believe Bob took some photos for the blog tonight here at Petco Park. Walked around the ballpark, get some different vantage points, so check it out. WGNTV.com.
He was taking a lot of pictures at Dodger Stadium as well. A couple of ballparks he'd never seen before.
Three and two. Nafee gets his lead off first, and Nevin not holding him on. Pitch to Walker, and he strikes out. Well, with Derek Lee coming up, of course, it's very early in the season. He is leading the league in all three Triple Crown categories. You go back to 1972, Billy Williams won the batting title, hit .333. He finished second in the league in RBIs with 122. And he finished third with 37 home runs. .386 for Derek Lee. And he has 7 straight hits. He has reached base 9 straight plate appearances. Up the middle! Another hit for Lee. 8 straight hits. Oh, man. Come on, smile, Derek.
Jeez. I don't know if I have ever seen a hitter in Little League be on a streak like this. Everything he hits is hard, and everything he hits finds a hole. Either through the defense or over the defense.
He's at .389. 5 for 5 last night. 3 for 3 tonight with 2 walks.
Well, the next pitcher that gets him out will be the leading candidate for the Cy Young Award in the National League. So far, he's just been chewing up pitchers and spitting them out.
He's hitting 1,000 here in June. 8 for 8 in June. He won the Player of the Week in the National League last week for the second time this year. He might win it again this week. He started the week going 0 for 5 Monday night, but then he went 3 for 5 Tuesday, 5 for 5 last night, 3 for 3 tonight. Can't think of too many flare hits either. 3-1 to Burnett's. At the knees to fill it up. It's 3-2.
I think that's a good take right there, even though the Cubs are leading 5-0 here in the top of the 9th inning with 2 outs, a couple runners on base. You take that 3-1 pitch, even if it's a strike, the runners are going to be on the move now. Jeremy gets a good pitch to hit here, puts it in play, a chance to drive in 2 runs.
There go the runners, and the bases are loaded as Burnett's walked. So he has reached 4 times tonight. Ramirez will dig in. Our producer of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports is Pete Toma. Skip Ellison is our director. Mark Brady, our associate producer. The executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwald. Pitch to Ramirez, ball 1. Thanks as well to Alan Leventhal, who's out in the booth tonight, and the stage manager. A great crew here in San Diego, and our studio coordinator back at WGN, PJ Crushell. Rolled to Green. He'll throw to first to end the inning. The Cubs leave them loaded, but they have a comfortable 5-0 lead as Glendon Rusch tries to complete this one tonight.
On the next Twilight Zone, the hottest thing in cyberspace. Your computer program was pushing all his buttons, but now
Did you make a little promise to me last night?
We can't be together.
she's not going to let him pull the plug.
Why are you trying to hurt me?
Help, help, help!
Then a perfect world faces a deadly threat,
This thing is a genetically mutated beast.
and only one will get out alive.
You murdered my...
Next Twilight Zone.
Sunday at midnight on Superstation WGN.
From an admirer.
Oh. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. For what?
So, this admirer, when does he get off?
All right, last call, everybody. Last call.
Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you'll find in no other beer.
Ready to make the move to Levitra for a strong, lasting experience? Ask your doctor if Levitra's right for you. Levitra is what many men with ED count on for a strong, lasting erection, for that quality sexual experience. Strong and lasting when he wants it. It's what Levitra's all about.
Levitra is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains or alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. In the rare case an erection lasts for more than 4 hours, seek immediate medical attention.
Strong, lasting. Experience Levitra for yourself. If you're on another ED treatment, maybe it's time to try Levitra. Ask your doctor about a free sample.
Welcome back. For the perfect blend of heat and flavor, use Frank's Red Hot. Most other hot sauces are more about the heat. Frank's Red Hot, the only one with red hot flavor.
Now Glendon Rusch waiting for the sign from Mark Weckner at second base, who has the stopwatch, timing things between innings. Jeff Blum is 2 for 3. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Cubs leading 5-0 as Rusch is 3 outs away from a complete game shutout. London has 10 career complete games and 2 shutouts. I know we were looking at some Cubs records with regard to consecutive hits. And again, Derek Lee with 8 straight hits, 2 walks thrown in there, but he's reached base. 10 straight plate appearances. 5 for 5 last night, 3 for 3 tonight. See Sammy Sosa the record, right? 9 straight hits. Oh, what a play by Rusch! He's done it all tonight. Didn't even need to look at it. He found it.
Well, a reason for celebration for the Cubs fan here at Petco Park tonight. Glendon Rusch has put on a clinic behind the back. I mean, you could blindfold this guy. He'll finish this game, get the last 2 outs. Probably blindfold Derek Lee and he'd get another hit.
D. Lee to first, 2 down. Hey, think about what Glendon Rusch has done tonight. A 4-hit shutout with 2 outs in the ninth. A leadoff double in the 3rd inning that led to the first 2 runs of the game for the Cubs. Jeremy Burnitz with a 2-run double. And 2 stellar defensive plays to boot. And strike on Nevin. Two strikes. Well, here's what we talked about very early tonight. Last time back-to-back wins by left-handed starters, June 21st and 22nd of '87. Trout and Moyer. Inside. Cubs pitching staff with 2 shutouts. 2 complete games as well, belonging to Pryor and Zambrano. Rusch trying to join them. 3-2. And a 2-out walk. Got ahead of him. And then maybe got ahead of himself. And that's the first walk issued by Glendon tonight. Roberto Navoa is up in the Cubs pen. And Larry Rothschild heading out. Glendon has thrown 118 pitches, a season high. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Wait till you get a glimpse inside this old house. Watch Home Improvement, weeknights at 6 and 7:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN, where comedy isn't just very funny, it's super funny.
2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. 30,344 tonight. A lot of Cubs fans here in attendance. And Glendon Rusch trying to complete this one as it's popped foul by Hernandez. Out of play. One pitch. Curveball strike. 1-2. Line Nafee with the catch. Glendon Rusch completes it. A 4-hit shutout. And the Cubs winning streak continues. Now it's 7 games. They're 4 games over 500. The train just keeps rolling through Southern California. Final score tonight, Cubs 5, Padres nothing.
Next on WGN is a showdown over the CTA, accusations and finger-pointing. One state lawmaker calling the head of the CTA a liar, and reports that fares could be raised. We'll sort out the true story. And now that their secret's out, Woodward and Bernstein share all about the man long known as Deep Throat. Plus the country's top speller, the winning word, and the puzzler that brought down a Chicagoland student. Those stories in the weekend forecast from the WGN News. It's coming right up.
With
With more flights to more places than ever before, America is your backyard. Southwest Airlines, we're taking low fares farther.